Hi and welcome to this first lesson in how to produce a 1980s electro funk track. Once you've downloaded the file pack, you should be able to install the virtual synths into your VST folder, wherever that may be on your computer. All you have to do is to go to the file that I've given you in the resources pack, which is the 1980s electronic funk. And within that, you've got a file that says the 1980s electronic funk resources. Now within that, you've got all your sample hits that we're going to use, which are just individual drum hits. And then you've also got the OBXD synth, the Tal Uno synth, and the Tyrell synth. They're the three major synths that we're going to use for this lesson. Both of them are there for Mac and PC 64-bit. Okay, so once you've uncompressed and extracted the DLLs from each of these and put them into your folder and rescanned your preferences file, which is in your folder file, and you click that rescan, and then you should get your DLLs up in here. So you'll have the OBXD and the Tal Uno 62 and the Tyrell, which is there. So the first synth that we've got is the brass riffs, and that's the OBXD 64, and it looks like this. And what you need to do is, once you've installed the DLL file, is you need to click on the little open icon here, and you should get a whole list of banks here, and in there are brass and drum patterns and keys and bells and strings and so forth. So you're going to choose the brass and synths one, okay, and you're going to double click on that, and in there then you click on this on the drop down menu, and in there you'll have a whole list of stuff. You're going to select Res Brass, which is that one there, okay, and let's just play a riff of that now on the keyboard. As you can hear it, so it should have that sound. Okay, so once you've got that, that's that set, and then we can program the patterns in for that in a little while for further on in the course. Okay, so just double check that you've got that, the Res Brass synth. Okay, so now we've done that with the OBXD. What I'd like you to do now is to open up the Tyrell synth, which is the Tyrell 64. And when you open it up, it's going to look like this. And in there is a sound. If you click on the presets here, in there is a sound called Basic Boogie Bass 2. Okay, and that is in. If you can't find it in the local, which is the generic folder when you open it, go to the Unshushable Cocteau down here and look for Basic Boogie Bass 2 in the presets and open that. Click your presets icon again, and this is going to sound like this. And I'm using the modulation wheel there on my keyboard, so as you can hear, it's not got much top end, it's quite dull. So what we need to do is take the cutoff up to around 8 and leave the res at about 7, and it's going to sound like this. So it's a lot brighter and a lot more fizzier. So you should have it sounding like that. So all you need to do is take the cutoff to around 8, and that's it. Okay, now what we need to do is we need to add the Tal Uno 62 bass. And this synth looks like this. It's just a complete replica of the Juno synth. And in here we have a bass sound, which we want. So and it sounds like this. If you keep your finger down on the key, it's got a lot. It's got all that going off in it. But we're not going to go that far. We're going to use short stabs. So you don't have to do anything to that. All that's going to be is a bass line that's going to sound like this. And that's that. So you should just be able to just install the software, find the bass sound in that. So you go into it, open it up, and if you look at your drop down menu, you'll see one that's called Funky Bass. It's like the second one down. So select that, and there you go. So that's that done. The next thing we want to do is we want to create another channel, and this time it's going to be the electric sitar, the analog sitar. And again, that's in the OBXD64. So drag another instance of that over, open it up, and if you see in the little open box here, you're going to open that up, and in there is in the bells and plucked section, and that is the analog one. And in there is the bells and plucks, and it's the very first one halfway down in the plucked section, like so. And you select that, and it's the first one. And there's two in there. You select the one that says MW, and this is this synth. Very 80s, very retro. So that's that one. That's the analog sitar. It's one of those really effective sounds that they used back in those days. Okay, so we've got that in. Next up, we have another instance of the OBX D64, but only this time we need to get a pad sound. So add another channel, another MIDI channel, and open up the icon again and choose strings and pads. And in there, around halfway down, is the OBXD strings. It says BZ pad OBXD in capitals and strings. Okay, and we're going to select that, and you're going to play that and see what that sounds like. And the cutoff should be around the 9 o'clock mark, and the resonance should be down as much as you can. Okay, so it gives it that deeper sort of warmth that we're looking for in this. Okay, and that's that. So that's the string. It's just a really rich sound. Okay, so hopefully let's do a quick recap on this lesson. You've got in the brass sound that we need from the OBXD. That one. And we've got in the lead line from the basic boogie bass sound. From the Tyrell. We have got the bass from the Uno, which is the funky bass sound. We have the analog sitar from the OBXD again. And we have the pads from the OBXD again. Okay, that's the end of this lesson. What we're going to do next is we're going to start installing some audio into drum racks and start to arrange the beats. So thank you for watching. Any questions, just email me and I'll get back to you as quick as I can. Thank you for watching, and head over to the next lesson. Goodbye.